Hello everyone, welcome to the Great Pokemon Debate. My name is Alex Harding, I'll be your host, and I'm joined here by representing Gen 3, Rachelle Suri-Tucker.
Hey everyone.
Representing Gen 4, James Troughton.
It's the best one.
And representing Gen 5 is Nathan.
Yeah, it's me, and sounds like it's a fight already starting.
And I'll be representing Gen 2. Basically, we'll go around. I will... James, I reckon you can start with Gen 4. Basically, what you'll do... what you'll have 3 minutes of uninterrupted time to plead your case. After that, we'll go 5 minutes of rebuttal, and then we'll move on to the next one. At the end, we won't announce a winner. We'll leave that up to everyone in the comment section. So I will get my timer out. No pressure, James, but are you ready?
Yeah. Big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, big point, yeah. Has there ever been a more requested remaster?
Oh, he's already started, okay.
Look at him go.
No.
I thought this was uninterrupted, guys.
I don't know, I'm insulted. No. I think Diamond built on what Gen 1 did in a way that the others never did. It added evolutions, it added better mechanics. The only problem with it is its introduction, but everything from that point on is perfect. Whereas I think every other Pokemon has problems early game, mid game, and late game, and post game content. I think this really refined all those areas in a way that only really, I think, competing with it Black did. So I know Nathan will like that. But when it comes to Diamond, you look at all these new Pokemon they added, like Bidoof, and how can you at all say that there's better Pokemon in the other generations? You have Bidoof. I guess Mareep's alright. Mareep's pretty good. But no, Bidoof's the best. And then you've also got Giratina, and most of the legendaries in Pokemon are boring. Like, the first ones were birds in Spanish. I don't really like that. But Giratina, you find him in a cave, which is upside down. That's pretty cool. I don't know. Diamond's the best. I don't need 3 minutes. It's just speak for itself.
Alright, I'll stop it there, but that was the...
Oh, God.
I don't think anyone could top that.
Oh my god.
Give James the win?
Okay. Well.
No. So, I'm surprised you didn't mention about the DS and the touchscreen.
Oh, I hate the DS touchscreen.
Well, that's not a point in your favour.
But I will give points to Platinum was probably the best refinement game.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Like, if you look at Crystal, Emerald, Platinum, like Yellow, Platinum is probably the best refined game. But like Diamond and Pearl themselves don't, like, they're not that great as soon as Platinum comes out. There's, like, Platinum just overshadowed them completely.
Yeah, I think I only ever played Platinum.
Yeah.
I played Diamond, and it was okay.
Yeah.
See, okay.
It was okay. Like, I don't really have any strong feelings towards it. Like, I've played almost every single Pokemon game, and to be perfectly honest, that one's the most forgettable to me.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'd agree
See,
with
I think it
I
has...
actually don't think I finished Platinum.
I think a genuine point for it that I love is the characters. I think in a lot of them it boils down to the same generic, you face a rival and that's it. But I think introducing someone who's your friend that becomes a rival, and then you have this other friend that's working with the professor that you build a bond with, I think there's a lot more there to work with.
I will give points to Piplup.
Piplup as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Chimchar.
Yeah, okay.
Points.
It has the
Not
best
Chimchar,
starters
no,
in my
not
opinion.
Chimchar.
I like
In
Chimchar.
top Gen 1.
Yeah, but here's one thing. Gen 3, 4, and 5 have one problem. Which was
What?
firefighting.
Lure?
There's Gen 3, 4, and 5.
Oh,
The starters are
firefighting.
firefighting.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll give you that.
But here's another thing with against Gen 4. There is barely any fire types in the game.
Yeah, they're
Isn't
very rare.
Yeah, because it's based on Hokkaido.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, every time I play a Pokemon game, I always go for the fire type. Well, 9 times out of 10, because they're harder to find in the wild than grass and water types.
That's exactly right. That is
but
what he's talking about.
You can use a penguin.
But they steamroll early game. Like, the amount of little Bidoofs you can just one-shot is spectacular.
James really likes the videos.
Yeah. Is that a good game, though?
Oh, yeah, because I think when you're coming into it early game, the tutorial drags a bit more than the others. Like, that was always my big problem with Platinum. But I think when you actually get into the early game content, it's a little bit more accessible for people, and then the difficulty starts to ramp up the further you go. Like, it has a steadier incline, I think, whereas the others, I think it's very out of left field when those spikes come.
That's true.
At least talking as a player, that like when I was a kid, that's sort of my experience. They were always off-putting, but Platinum was quite easy to get into.
Yeah, because you have that nostalgia because you grew up with Platinum, didn't you?
Yeah, the ones I mostly played as a kid were Platinum and Gen 1.
So did you start with Gen 4?
I started with Gen 4, but I didn't finish it until a bit later, but I played it alongside Gen 1.
Right.
Now, here's a point to bring up. Are we classifying the remakes as what they're based off of, or are we classifying as when they came out?
Because I'm going with Fire Red here.
I'd say when they came out.
Because that would put Heart Gold and Soul Silver in Gen 4 then.
Oh, no. Well,
yes, another point in my favour. Yep, I'll take that. Heart Gold is great.
You can't have both.
That's
why I was like,
sorry, James.
If we're going based on, when they were meant to be based off, not when they came out kind of thing, because Heart Gold and Soul Silver is really solid, and most people classify it as Gen 4.
Okay, it's Gen 2, but thank you for the compliments on my generation.
Do you want to go next then?
We still got 1 minute of rebuttal.
Oh, well, James is stupid. There we go. Done.
I'll take that, yeah.
Yeah, well, okay.
But yeah, Gen 4 I found is where a lot of people jumped off the wagon.
If you started with Gen 1 and 2.
For a reason.
It's where all the old people were weaned off of the series, and it's where the new, fresh, young audience came in with their better eyes and their better perspectives.
I'm sorry, are you calling the rest of us old?
I think that
James?
is what he's doing, yes.
No?
Well then, you should know as a young'un to listen to your elders because they know what's best.
How old did you feel when you said that?
Too old, Alex. Too old.
Alright, so moving on, let's go Rachelle.
What? Okay.
The debate master.
Yeah. The master debater.
Normally I used to have a lot more time to prepare my debates.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, I just woke up and had to wing it though. I'm sorry.
Look, I think we're all winging it here.
We're all winging it.
I'm pretty much going to be winging it too.
Alright. Fire away.
Okay, so, Gen 3. I'm going to start this off with a story because I feel as though you need to understand why I like the generation. So when I was young, I used to fight with my brother over every single Pokemon game because he would always take the SP and play all the games and I would be left without them. But with Gen 3, we got Emerald. And the day that we got Emerald, my brother was grounded and my mum gave me the game. So, I mean, that's already a point to me because I got one up on my brother, which is great if you have siblings, you know the feeling. But there are so many things about Gen 3 that were just so much fun. For example, secret bases. Used to love the secret bases. They were so much fun to just like stumble upon and go visit other people's. It was just, it was a solid. Second thing, Pokemon contests. They were introduced in Gen 3 and they rock. I would swear here, but I can't because we want to try and keep this peachy clean. Anyway, Pokemon contests, so good. Even once you finish the game, you could keep going back and entering all your Pokemon in the Pokemon contests. And it was great. And then once you'd completed each one, you would go up and see the wonderful photos of your Pokemon in their beautiful glory because they had won. Okay? Safari Zone. That was also great too. so much fun to just go in there and just catch all the different types of Pokemon that you couldn't already. Team Aqua, Team Magma. First of all, they were bomb names, and they... No, none of this, like, disagreeing look, Alex. They were excellent names for the two different, like, you know, bad teams that you were against. Like, let's be honest, because it tied in so well to the legendaries. And while I'm on it, the legendaries themselves, like, Kyogre and Groudon, fabulous. And then Rayquaza, like, mind-blowing. So good. Absolutely wonderful. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Oh wait, actually no, one more thing. How cool was it? For the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the town, but it was on water. It was fabulous.
Sutopolis.
That's the one.
He's a bigger fan.
James, how could you? I haven't had time to prepare. Anyway, but like, how cool! Like a city on the water. It's like something out of Avatar. It's wonderful. And I'm just gonna end it there because fun.
Well, your time anyway, so that was
exactly.
Good. So I just want to say first and foremost that I'm recording next to Rachelle,
yep,
and she was staring at me that entire time, and it was very intimidating,
intense.
Yeah, it was really intense.
I have to say, Alpha Sapphire is one of my favorite Pokemons, and I can't remember the team that you fight in Diamond and Pearl.
See?
But I can't remember
Galactic.
Aqua.
Team Galactic.
Mm-hmm,
Galactic!
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
See,
they're
I
very
always just
forgettable.
mix it up with Rocket, because it's basically the same. But Aqua, yeah, they're pretty good.
Aqua and Magma,
Here's a point against
they
it.
are where it's at.
The contests were more refined in Gen 4.
Yep. I'll take that.
Yes, but they were introduced in Gen 3, so there's a
And
special
they were
place
shit.
for them. They were not shit. I will not have you say such horrible things about Gen 3.
I spent so much time doing those contests.
I spent so much time. Like once
I got real addicted to that.
Once I finished the game, I would literally just pick it up at any random point to start playing the contests again.
I sometimes actually picked my moves based on
Same.
cool
Am
and
I
cute.
the only one that really didn't care for them?
I didn't have much care for them myself. But I will say, like, it was more refined in Gen 4, which...
I'll agree with that. It
And-
was more refined in Gen 4, but there's still a soft spot for when you first do it. And to be honest, my Swallow was amazing. He was the coolest thing in the world.
But was he a Chimchar?
He was not a Chimchar.
Useless.
No. Oh, something I totally forgot to mention. The starters. Torchic is the bomb.
Torchic is so cool.
Torchic's
Ooh.
Blaziken.
Trico as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like Trico.
Is
I
that
heard
the
you
one
like
with the-
Mudkips.
Is that the one with the
No.
blue dinosaur? Which one has Totodile? Which one has Totodile?
Gen 2.
Yes, Gen 2.
Gen 2.
But
I like that one. I
There-
never
there
liked
was like a
Torchic.
few things that you mentioned that I think were improved upon in other generations. Like that.
But do you know what?
Like, you know, it's
the
a point
feeling
against
of beating my brother, that can never be topped.
Isn't that
That's true.
that is
It's more of a you
emotional?
thing.
Yeah,
Yes, that is
That's
an
an
emotional
emotional thing.
But
You can't-
I'm trying. No,
It's
I
a
can
debate.
because
it's meant to be
You're
about
right.
facts.
it is. No, it is a debate. But sometimes pulling on people's
Okay, we're not debating
heartstrings-
debates.
pulling on people's heartstrings is just sometimes the best way to get them to empathize with you.
I
And
will
feel as
say-
though- yes.
That alone wins. Because I used to steal video games off my brother, and it made me like them even more.
That,
See.
but it has
So
a
Gen
very...
4 is now conceded.
Because my brother had Heart Gold and I had Diamond, so I stole his Heart Gold, and I really liked
Nice.
Heart Gold because of it.
Yeah.
Gen 3's... So, yes, it did include secret bases.
Mm-hmm.
How boring was secret bases?
Secret bases were not
Also,
boring. Are you kidding me?
secret
You used
bases-
to be able to.
Are not as fun as underground mines.
Yeah, no, Secret Bases are better. No way.
Secret bases are much better.
They're boring.
Also-
No, the underground mines were boring.
just- it's
Omega
just
Ruby,
Animal
Alpha
Crossing, but
Sapphire, if we're counting the remakes, they did not include the proper Battle Frontier.
Yeah,
But
but that was
Alpha
only
Sapphire
Emerald,
is
wasn't
great.
it?
Yes, that was in Emerald, but that's the thing. They're remakes of that generation. They should include the full Battle Frontier.
The remakes had XP share by default, which is a point in their favour.
See?
Is it though?
James is on
Yeah.
my
I
side.
did not like XP share.
I like
Yeah.
XP share. Are
so
you kidding
good.
me?
No,
I think that's
lazy.
Real Pokemon
Yeah.
players swap their Magikarp out at the start of every battle.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
The amount of hours I spent doing that.
It's just so...
Or you get the XP share as a hold item, not a it affects the whole party thing.
Yeah.
See, I feel like
We're
that's
old,
just
aren't we,
very
Nathan?
obtuse.
Yeah, I feel as though this is where, like, the generational difference between you and Nathan and like, you guys are only 2 years older than me, but, like, screw not having XP share, because...
That wasn't in the original Gen 3 though.
So,
Yeah.
we can talk about
It didn't come until Gen 6's team-wide XP share.
Exactly.
And no one's arguing for Gen 6.
Alright, 30 seconds left if anyone want to say anything.
No, I think I
Again.
pointed out everything.
I think I made myself clear.
Pointed out every flaw.
This is just making me want to play Alpha Sapphire again, whereas talking about Diamond didn't make me want to play Diamond again.
Thank you. I think it was the passion in which I spoke.
I've goofed here.
You've conceded yourself.
Alright, Nathan, do you want to go next or do you want me to go next?
I can go next.
Alright, whenever you're ready.
Okay, so Gen 5 is the most mature story of Pokemon. It brings up the whole, keeping Pokemon as a team, like, in a Pokeball, that kind of be, Peter style story. And it was very well played out. Team Plasma was a really interesting team to follow because of this story, with N being the main villain. And he was he wasn't actually villainous. He was just caring for Pokemon. You've also got, it's the only generation to have a sequel, not a remaster game. And you actually go back and explore the world, kind of like how Gen 2 had you go back to Kanto, but it had its own game. And it has a seasonal calendar where you can catch, Pokemon depending on the season in-game. There is a lot to Gen 5. It was a soft reboot where you could go through and just catch Gen 5 Pokemon. And I found that quite nice and refreshing. But yeah, it was a very well-made game. Story was very intriguing along the way. You had a good, expansive post-game content, especially in the second one with the Pokemon World Tournament, being able to fight all the previous gym leaders and champions. Plenty of game to play, and is the only one to have an easy or hard mode, which you can unlock. I think that's all I can think of at the moment.
You said that it has a sequel,
Yes, it does. Pokemon Black and White too.
but doesn't Diamond and Pearl have a prequel coming called... I don't want to say it because I can't pronounce it.
It does.
It does. But that didn't come out directly afterwards.
Yeah, so that was them running out of ideas and they were like, crap, what do we do? Sequel. This is them going, that was such a good generation ages ago. We should expand on that.
We can't talk to Gen 4 because you've already conceded.
That's true, that's true.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I did really like Black and White when I played it.
Oh my god. James is just here. I'm here for everyone.
Black
Go
and White
team.
wasn't really well made. It's also where they did bring in a lot more of a competitive aspect to the generations.
It also improved on Gen 4 in every way.
Yes.
Plus, that fight at the start in the house is one of the most memorable moments in Pokemon for me.
Yeah, it's good fun.
When you shatter all the furniture. Oh.
I remember playing it. One, I did not like the art style. It seemed a bit grainier to me.
The animated pixels
in
the battle. See, I like that.
It was better refined in Gen 6 with better hardware, but I think they were trying to do a bit too much with Gen 5, and I don't know, it came across a bit grainy.
I think the Gen 5 was the last good-looking one until the Switch era. I think the other ones tried to do what the Switch is doing, but it did not look good on a DS.
Do you know what? Each one was beautiful in its own way.
Boo.
Sun and Moon did not work on a DS.
Like, the animations in battle, they just stand there half the time.
Yeah.
While, while the Gen 4 and Gen 5, they were actually quite animated.
Yeah.
I don't care for that, though.
Yeah, but it looks nicer.
You can turn it off.
I definitely did like the story in Gen 5. I feel like it was much more...
It had the most story.
Yeah, and I know this is your favourite generation, Nathan, because it's an RPG. It's more like an RPG.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're an RPG guy, so that just makes sense. I feel as though Gen 5 might be harder for people to get into who aren't RPG fans and just like Pokemon for being Pokemon.
I never played the first Black. I only played Black 2.
Well, that would have been weird.
It was.
Yeah, that's a mistake on your behalf.
Yeah. Who starts the game with a sequel?
That's the one that I had, so I was just going to play it, and I did.
I also...
And that's the other thing.
How was that it got, though? Like, as a just playing the sequel?
It was forgettable. Anyway.
Gen 5 as well, like you said, Nathan, it was a soft reboot. I did not like that. As like, I wanted to see some of the classic Pokemon tied in with it. And yeah. I mean, that's more of a personal thing, but like, you couldn't catch old Pokemon.
I mean, you can after the post game. And see, I like that. It kind of highlights the new Pokemon more. Because I go into Gen 6 or Gen 7 and Gen 8. I'm like, oh, cool. I know this one. I'm good with this. Like, it doesn't highlight the new ones as much.
I will give you that. I think Gen 4 blended them perfectly, but Gen 5 introduced new ones perfectly.
Gen 4, actually, a point to Gen 4 in that it...
Oh, we're back to Gen 4 again?
Yeah, apparently. In that, like, older Pokemon, you can evolve them into newer Pokemon. Like, it expanded on their evolutions.
Yeah, that's
really
why it's
like that.
But they did not have a lot of good designs on those evolutions.
How dare you?
Licky.
Yeah,
James,
okay.
You have already conceded. We would like to remind you.
I'm trying to think of Gen 5 Pokemon, though, and there's not many that are memorable.
Chandelure, one of the best, like, highest rated Pokemon in the vote.
Yeah, okay, Chandelure's pretty cool.
Yeah. You got Crocodile.
Yeah.
Sounds like Totodile.
We all prefer Totodile, like
We all
Totodile.
prefer.
What was it? The starters are quite forgettable as well.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Oshawott is a samurai.
Oshawott, Tepig, and
Snivy.
No, I can see.
Snivy.
See? Forgettable.
Tepig
Yeah,
is
I couldn't even remember
perfect.
Snivy.
Tepig knocks Torchic out of the water in every single possible way.
Yes!
Oh
I'm
no.
sorry. James.
I hate Torchic.
How dare you?
Do you know
But,
what?
like,
I think I might just go.
look at Samurai. It is just a straight up samurai.
Yeah, and that's not good.
It looks cool.
A fire
I'm sorry,
pig.
that says unimaginative
20-second
as
warning.
Trubbish.
20-second warning.
Also, Tepig, Embor being the pig is based off Journey to the West.
It was big and fat.
Torchic was small and crangly.
Crangly.
Yeah, that's a word I've just come up with.
It sounds British.
Damn British people.
I was trying to think of the word and I couldn't.
And moving on, so my turn with Gen 2. Alright, I'll start it now. So, first off, Generation 2, Johto, Gold and Silver, 2 islands, 1 cartridge. You travel through Johto, and then when you're done, you move over to Kanto, and you've got another whole 8 gym badges to collect. So that is 16 gym badges in one game. It also had Red Gyarados. Point me. It introduced shinies to the series. You had... It's uninterrupted. I get 3 minutes. Lugia, Ho-Oh, like their stories were fantastic. You had the towers. I can't remember what they're called, but like the towers where you find Ho-Oh, and they're based off of shrines in Japan, which I visited, and that is so cool. Ecruteak City. It's like just Japan personified. Like it's like Kyoto, and it was so good. It was so pretty. The music is stellar. It's so good. Yeah, you had all of Pokemon started. It was only supposed to be Generation 1 and 2, so they put everything into Gen 2, and and then they've made it's successful. We'll make Gen 3. We'll make Gen 4 because obviously they're there's a lot of money to be made. But Gen 2 was a passion project. It was passion because that was where it was supposed to all wrap up. Also, to get Kanto onto that cartridge, that was Satoru Iwata. If you don't vote for me, you're voting against Satoru Iwata.
Jesus.
He has us there.
I said it. I said it. The starters, I would say, is the least. Is a point maybe against me. I didn't really like the starters all that much. Although Chikorita is
was
so cute. And in the anime...
again, isn't it?
Okay, well, you like Cyndaquil, don't you?
I love Cyndaquil.
There you go. You got Cyndaquil. And Cyndaquil was coming back in Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's cool.
That's pretty cool. Team Rocket. Team Rocket had a bigger... actually, Team Rocket's the only generation that I know of that is the villain twice. So Team Rocket's in Gen 1 and Gen 2. And they had a whole thing where they were cutting off Slowpoke tails. And that was a huge that was a huge thing. It was just an awesome game. You met Lance, you fought Team Rocket left, right, and center alongside Lance. He had a Dragonite. Dragonites are cool, and that's time.
You know what? I'm sold. I think Gen 2 might be the best now.
Dragonite's goofy looking.
You're goofy looking.
But point against with Satoru Iwata. It wouldn't have happened without him, which means if he didn't be there, Game Freak couldn't have done it.
But it's there.
But he did.
I know, but that's the thing. Like, if it wasn't for Iwata, it wouldn't have been there. So, like,
but I have to say that I will give you the point that you've got two of them, because if you look at Gen 5, they made two separate games because they wanted more money as opposed to just making it one big game.
Ooh.
Yeah, Nathan.
So I will totally give you a point for that and take a point away from Nathan.
Thank you.
Can I just ask?
Gen 5 isn't two separate islands, though. It's the same island.
Was Black 2 a sequel in the sense like Mario Galaxy 2 was a sequel and Breath of the Wild 2
No, it
was
was
a sequel?
actually straight up a sequel. It was 3 years later.
No, but was it one of those things though where they had ideas for the game and they couldn't fit, so they just made it? I don't think
so, because it's story-wise completely, like, it continues on.
Yeah, it was a follow-on from the story that was made. Anyways, Gen 2.
Gen 2.
My turn.
Listen to me! I would just like to point out that the moderator is really, biased against his own generation. He gave himself a point at the beginning.
Yeah. I stand by it.
But the Team Rocket I did find less interesting in Gen 2. Like, you can only access the Giovanni story in DLC, which isn't even available.
Ooh.
I don't know, you could only purchase the sequel to Black and White if you purchased a whole separate game, so...
Ooh. Good rebuttal.
I do think Gen 2 felt more passionate than the others, I have to give you that.
Also, Celebi.
Something I love though with Gen 2, it was a very so when you're starting out it felt very rural. And as a kid who grew up in a lot of small villages dotted about, England, the shithole that it is.
England.
It felt very homely, that initial beginning. I think the others felt
more
too
than
urban.
Sword and Shield?
Sword and Shield just annoyed me because
I found Johto itself to be somewhat forgettable because Kanto took the limelight in the second half.
That is a damn line, you know it.
No. Johto's so good.
Like, Johto itself I found, like, somewhat forgettable because, like, your levels are overtaken. Like, you only finish the Elite Four at, like, do you do Elite Four before? I can't remember. Or, like, you're level 40, level 50 by the time you go to Kanto. So, like, it's probably one of the lowest where you finish the gems.
Because there's more to it.
But it just makes it feel like easy mode.
No, but your journey's not over.
I would just like
I'm
to.
with him on this one.
Who were the bad guys in Gen 5?
Team
I
Plasma.
completely-
Team Plasma.
Team Plasma. Sorry,
Yeah,
I wasn't
I-
listening when you were talking, Nathan.
Yeah, you were. Obviously.
But Team Rocket is the most iconic.
Yep.
But that's because
Like,
of
I
Gen
will
1
give you that.
and the anime. In Gen 2, they're a shadow of their former selves, literally. Like, they have no leader, they're just goons.
Is that not a good way of doing a sequel, though, where you've thrashed them in
That
the
is.
first
Thank
game?
you, James.
Why would they still be at
Well-
their glory?
What were you saying,
Aren't
Michelle?
we meant to be fighting against it?
No, but I'm
honestly,
convinced.
I've completely forgotten.
Okay.
I think what I've learned from this is I love every generation.
I think you're very easily swayed, James.
Yeah.
Because with every single person after, you're like, oh yeah, I like that. Although I will say that right now, what game do you want to play the most?
Right now, Alpha Sapphire, because that boat level is top.
I think that we should all listen to James, and I really think it kind of speaks for itself.
Honestly,
Yeah,
at the time of recording,
too
I'm
much
through-
water.
I'm playing through Bravely Default 2, and that's what I want to play.
But you
Yeah.
know the
I want to play
cruise
Monster
ship.
Hunter. That's what I want to play.
That's fair.
James is quite obviously the one who's the easiest swayed, so I feel like he's the, he's-
James.
he's a good
Yeah,
idea
but that's the thing.
to-
You have to convince the people who are harder to sway.
No,
James,
no.
tot it up.
What do I do? What? I heard
Tot it up.
Totodile. Yeah?
Gen
What do I
2,
do?
tot it up. Vote
Yeah,
for me.
he's
Secret
good.
Bases, Gen 3, vote by me.
See, no, if you'd said cruise ship, I'd be more inclined, because the cruise ship is one of my favourite points in Pokemon. I don't know why.
It is a pretty good part.
You go into a
Okay.
little room and there's someone who wants to fight you for
Yes.
some reason. You walk down the corridor, there's 3 sailors that want to fight you for some reason. You go up the stairs, there's
I
an
know,
old woman
and-
ready to
And,
beat you
and
up
the
with
cruise
it.
ship is like kind of submerged a little
Now,
bit.
I'll
Yeah.
give the point to Gen 2 for this, but Alex, you didn't mention it. The red battle.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a missed opportunity.
Exactly.
Wow, you really don't know that much about your own gen.
Rude. Well, we'll end on the high note of red, and so
Which
all
you can
listeners.
rebattle in Pokemon World Tournament.
That is true. But all listeners, let us know in the comments down below what you think. What's your favorite generation? Why is Nathan wrong? All that kind of stuff. And
How you got over on your siblings.
thank you everyone for listening. You can always please like and subscribe. Always you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can donate to our Patreon. We do a podcast every week. Oh, every
And our
fortnight. Sorry.
Discord.
Yeah, don't forget Discord.
I was getting there.
And you should subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, really anywhere you can get a podcast.
All the plugs. But thank you for listening, and Gen 2 is the best.
No, it's not.
Nah,
Agreed.
Gen 3 is the best.